everyone, it's Rhonda, and I am back with part 2 of my May Project Life layout. I am working on the back side of my intro page for May, which is the Becky Higgins Design A. So I'm working again with 4x6s and 3x4s. These pictures that I'm working on for this layout are all pictures that I took on Mother's Day. So I didn't take a ton of pictures in May, but I did take a few on Mother's Day. So I decided that I had enough that I could do a full page layout just with the pictures for Mother's Day. So this is just kind of a Mother's Day themed page. And what I am working on now is one of the 4x6 cards. If you guys have watched my video before, I really don't have any rhyme or reason to how or when I make my cards. I just grab a picture and just go. I never know until I have it in my hands whether I'm going to use it as a 4x6 card or a 3x4 card. Every once in a while I'll lay my cards out just to make sure that I'm using enough of the right color, but I usually just make cards and put them in my pockets and play with them after that. But yeah, so I'm just making a card here. This is going to happen to be my title card. This one, obviously Mother's isn't going to fit, so I'm just going to call it Mom's Day. But this is a picture of me and my daughter that we took on Mother's Day. She came over and surprised me with breakfast that morning. She came over and made me peach pancakes and peach bellinis. And we just spent the day just hanging out and just laughing because, gosh, that girl makes me laugh. So we were doing some Snapchat stuff. She was making some videos and we were just hanging out, having a good time. So this is one of the pictures that we took, and this is me and her with one of the Snapchat filters. So I'm using the, I think these are Hip Kit Club exclusive alphas, and I believe that they came in the embellishment kit. I think I mentioned before, I started in April doing the embellishment add-on with my kits, and I have loved that. I love having a lot of embellishments to choose from. I like not having to limit myself as to how many embellishments I use on a layout. I can use as many or as little as I want. I also love getting, for the most part, you get two different alphas. So you get one with the regular kit and then one with the add-on kit. And they're completely different. And I love that I can use two different alphas for the same month. So that one, that blue alpha set happens to be one of my favorites. I love the font. I love the color. I love everything about those letters. So I tend to use those. I think I've used them quite a few times on my May layouts. This card that I'm working on right now was actually not a picture that was taken on Mother's Day. And nobody's going to know that, but I thought I would share with you guys. But it was actually taken the day after Mother's Day. So which of course happened to be a Monday. And I was off of work that week, and so I went over to see my mom because I didn't see her on Mother's Day. So I went over to see my mom that Monday, and my grandma and my 5 aunts were there. So they try to get together every month. Those that can get together, and they just kind of hang out, and they call it Sister's Day. And this Sister's Day, they happened to be celebrating Mother's Day. So it was kind of nice because all 6 of the girls were there, and along with my grandma. And believe me, I know how very blessed I am that I still have my grandma. She just turned 90, and I am very blessed by the fact that she is very healthy. She's doing great. And my mom and my aunts take really good care of her. My grandpa passed away probably about 8 or 9 years ago now. And so it's been the 6 girls and my grandma, and they're very close, and they like I said, they really do take good care of my grandma. So I know they're all very happy that they have each other. So it was nice to get to hang out with them for the afternoon. I went over there and had lunch with them and just kind of hung out and talked. And that was really nice because I don't get to see my aunts very often, especially not all 5 of them. So it was nice just to be able to spend time with them. So I wanted to make sure that I used this picture as well to document the day. Even though I'm not in it, it was still nice to have my mom and her sisters in that picture. So what I'm doing right now is just backing this picture with some foam. And I've started doing that recently, and I really like using that foam for 2 different reasons. One is it kind of gives me a little bit of space behind the picture to do some layering. So I can layer embellishments, I can layer journaling cards, I can layer a lot of things underneath the photos when they're popped up like that. And I also like the added dimension that it gives to the cards. So I've been doing that quite a bit lately, and I think I will continue to do that because, again, I really do like the effect that it gives. So here I am playing with some of the flowers that came in the embellishment kit. And this, I believe, was a Hip Kit Club exclusive embellishment pack as well. So it had a lot of little itty bitty flower pieces, and I wanted to use them to make some embellishment clusters. So that's what I'm doing here, but I struggled keeping them together. So at one point I gave up trying to glue them, and I ended up stapling them together. I did add some adhesive to the back of it, and then I think there's a couple other times where those have fallen off the page and I've had to fix them again. So yeah, struggled with those, but they're on there now and they're staying put, so all is good. So if you guys have watched my videos before, you know how much I love my Tim Holtz Distress ink. So I just inked the edges of these two little embellishments, the tag and then that little flower die cut there. I think that it helps to make the embellishment stand out so they don't get lost in that blue background. And I just love the finished look that it gives it. I will find myself doing it on a card when I want to add something else, but I don't know what it is. When I ink the edges, to me, that just completes the card. So I am a distress ink addict. So you will see me do that quite often. But I just love the look that it gives. I love the separate definition. So I did add one of the little puffy stickers, that little banner down there, and I think it says Je t'aime, which is I love you in French. So I thought that was kind of perfect for this card. And then I'm just going to add some of the enamel dots that were included in this. I don't remember if it was the embellishment add-on or the regular main kit, but went ahead and added those on there and finished off that card. This picture is one that my daughter took, and again, it was a Snapchat filter. And it's kind of hard to read, but she's got this little beanie on that says, I heart my mom. So with a little cute little face. So had to print that out because she was doing some funny pictures and making some funny videos, and I just had to put them in here because they were so cute. I don't get to spend as much time with her as I would like, so this was, again, a real treat for me to have her come and spend the day. So I'm just using some of the embellishments that were included in the kit, and then some of those puffy stickers. I think I did end up using most of these puffy stickers on my May layouts. I just love them. But I don't know about you guys, I struggle with the feathers. I think that I used almost everything on that sticker sheet except for the feathers. I don't know how to use them, I don't think. I'm not much of a feather person, so I'm not quite sure how to use them. So I know that there were a couple feathers in the embellishment kit, and I think there's a couple feathers on the puffy sticker sheet. Didn't use them. I just struggle with how to use feathers. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to use feathers, leave me a comment and let me know, because I would love to be able to use them. I love the way the feathers look. I think they were a very pretty feather. They would have gone great if I would have known how to use them. So now there's a puffy sticker that says love, and I want to put it on this card, but it was kind of floating and I didn't like that. So I am doing a couple banner flags here and just fishtailing the end of them so that I have somewhere for that love to rest. So I'm just inking up the edges of this one. I've got a pink and a yellow one, and I'm just going to make sure that love fits on there perfect. So I do like the way this card, again, this is a super simple card, but I love the way that it ends up turning out. And I think that's maybe a little heart and a little star, but just some little stickers that were included on that puffy sheet. And this is where I ink the edges. If I don't know what else to do with the card, if I feel like it needs something but I don't want to add something, I add the ink, and then that is pretty much done. So this card I'm going to go ahead and use for a little journaling. And these wood veneers came in the kit as well. And they were all different words. And this one says today was good. And I thought, well, that's perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and use that. So I'm going to put this little flower on the back and kind of use that as a background, kind of a resting place for my title that says today was good. So I'm just kind of playing around with my leaves, trying to get these little bits and pieces down. And then I'm going to end up gluing the today was good on top of the flowers. And I love the way that this card turns out. Super simple, but it gave me just enough journaling room to talk about how, you know, my daughter came over and made me breakfast and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to glue all of that down. So cute. I really do love the way this turned out. Except I got glue all over my hand. So then I'm just going to go in with my pen and do my journaling and trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to add on there. And I do think, yeah, I do end up using a couple little enamel dots on here. And it just turned out so cute. Again, plain and simple. This is this card is from one of the papers in the kit. Just a little lined paper. So I just went ahead and did my journaling on there and it worked out perfect. So that card is done as well. So I'm going to move on to the flowers that my daughter brought me. I just took a picture of them. I'm just going to trim it up so that it fits. I believe I do a 3x4 card with this one. So I'm just trimming it up enough that it fits onto a 3x4 piece of paper. And I like to have like pictures and embellishments and that kind of stuff go off the edge of the page. I like trimming them off. I like the effect that that gives. I do that a lot with my pictures and I do that a lot with my embellishments. So this is where I end up using that tag. It's just got some hearts on the edge of it, but I thought that this was the perfect place to add that. And then I'm going to go back to those wood veneers. I think I'm trying to, playing around, trying to figure out what else I can do. I do end up using this little gold tag that was in the kit. And again, this is one of those ones where I'm going to have it come off the card. So I'm going to layer that embellishment on the corner. It's going to kind of cover up that card, but I think that's okay. So I just kind of layer it on the corner, trim off all the excess. And then I'm going to use that wood veneer that also came with the kit that says Lucky. And I'm going to add that on there because I'm a lucky mom. I really am. I've got two amazing, amazing kids. And I'm, again, very blessed. Very blessed. So I'm just going to add some more of the puffy stickers down there on that tag. And I think that will be done as well. If all else fails, I just ink the edge of those, called them done. So this is a picture of me and my mom. And this was my Facebook post that day. I posted an old picture. This was like, I don't even think I was one. But it's just a picture of me and my mom. And I posted this on Facebook just to tell my mom Happy Mother's Day. So I wanted to put it in here because I love this picture of me and my mom. So one of the things that I did on this card that I haven't done, I don't think ever, was use one of the cut files for the May hip kit. So that's that little banner with the flowers. So I used my Cameo and I cut out that cut file on a smaller scale so that it would fit on my Project Life card. So I went through and I cut out papers and I attached them to the back of the flowers, and it was tedious, but I do like the way that it turned out. And you guys will see a close-up at the end of the video when I show the cards, and you'll see it a little bit better, but I do really like the way that that turned out. I had to play with this card. I actually redid this card twice because I did not like the way it turned out. So I'm just showing you guys the final bits and pieces of this card, but I had trouble with this card. So I scrapped it, started all over, scrapped it again, started all over, and this is what I finally came up with. But I'm just adding some of the flowers that are on there, and that little gold chipboard piece up there says "You Are Loved." So I put that on there, and then I'm going to try and find something to put in the middle of that banner. So there's a perfect spot there for some tiny word, phrase, or something like that. So I'm going to try and find something that kind of fits in there that seems appropriate. So yeah, it just seemed like the perfect place to put this photo since it's me and my mom. So I went ahead and put that on there. So I'm just, again, playing around with some of those little puffy stickers, trying to figure out which ones of those I can use. And then I'm going to keep looking through my tiny word phrases. And I forget, I end up using one of these, but I don't really remember what it says. Hopefully at the end you'll be able to read it on the card. But I end up trimming it down just a tiny bit because it was a little bit larger than what I wanted for that space. But I do ultimately end up liking the way that this card turns out finally. But again, I don't know why it was such a struggle, but yeah, it was a struggle. And I do think that I will try and use one of the cut files every month. I liked using that. I haven't used them before. I do, because it was on the smaller end, it was a little bit more difficult to use than if I had cut out cut it out from a bigger piece of paper. But obviously it wouldn't have fit on my Project Life card. So I like the size. I like the way it turned out. So I'm just going to kind of lay these out. Well, I didn't really lay them out, but I looked through them trying to figure out if I needed some more colors in here. And I remembered that I have to do the card. I haven't done it yet. I haven't used that May card yet. And again, if you watched my April video, I started using these. They were in maybe the March hip kit. I don't really remember. But there was a whole 12 by 12 sheet of all the months. And so I cut them out, and I really want to use them on filler cards in my layouts. So that's what I'm working on here. I needed another 4 by 6. So I decided that's where I wanted to use that May card. So I used a doily on the background, and when I was creating this layout, I wished that I would have maybe moved it over a little bit, because I think the problem I have with this card is the amount of white space that the inside of the doily created. And I think that's what I struggled with on this. And here's me trying to use feathers. I'm like, how can I use them? Can I layer them up? No, they're going the same way. That looks kind of weird. I end up not using them, even though I tried. I tried and tried. And that doesn't look too bad. But yeah, I ended up not using them. But what I'm doing is just taking one of these little tags in there, and I think this is the Simple Things, and I'm layering it up with that butterfly. I really love that butterfly, and so I wanted to make sure and use it on here, and just kind of layer that on top of the card. So again, here is where I struggle with these little itty bitty teeny tiny flower pieces. I want to make an embellishment cluster out of them, and so I pulled all of them out and just am playing with them, trying to see what's going to work up here and what's not. I think part of the problem I had with this is that those dark blue ones were seriously dark. But I ended up figuring out how to make them work. And I cut out a lot of that because literally probably 15-20 minutes of me playing around with those flowers, trying to make the perfect little embellishment cluster. But I end up finally deciding what I want to do with that. And I do like the way it turns out in the end. But again, I think the problem that I have with this is all of that white space from the doily. And if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have moved the doily over to the right-hand side of that card a little bit more so that there wasn't so much white space. I tried a couple different embellishments there to try and take up some of that. And obviously that's not going to work because then they're just kind of stuck in the middle of the card, and that wasn't going to look good either. So I end up leaving it with the white space, and I'm fine with the way the card turned out, but I wish that I had done it a little bit differently. But in the end, it is all done and completed, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just me being, picky, but it turned out really good. So then I decide, this is my favorite punch, you guys. I love that tab punch, and you can use it for so many different things. So this was kind of my solution for all of that white space. I used that little tab punch to kind of take up a little bit of it, and I do like the way that that turned out. So I think that that looks super cute there. But again, what a big difference the Distress ink makes on that. I just really love the way that it just makes that pop and it doesn't get lost in the background. So when all else fails, I always look for tiny word stickers. So I'm going through my tiny word stickers, trying to figure out something to put on that tab. And I don't remember if I end up using anything on there or not. Let's find out together. So I keep adjusting this butterfly because I kind of want the point of his wings to kind of be between the words. And so I keep adjusting him, trying to figure out a good way for that to layer on there. So I've got one of those little flower embellishments that I'm going to add on there, and then another one of the puffy stickers. So, and that card is pretty much done. So I'm just inking up the edges on that one and going to call that one done. So obviously I do not end up putting a little tiny word sticker on there. Couldn't remember, but then I've got one more picture of me and my daughter. And this is not the greatest picture. I don't know what in the world we were thinking, but of all the ones that we took that did not have Snapchat filters, this one was the best. But like my eye is half closed and I'm like, what's wrong with your hair? So it was just funny, but it's the two of us just having fun. So I wanted to make sure and put this in here. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want to layer this card up here. And again, I'm going to put it off to the side and cut off the excess because I like the way that that hangs off the edge. And I've got that little die cut piece that says what matters most. And I want to put that on here because my kids are definitely what matters most. So I wanted to make sure and put that on there. I'm just using a couple little embellishment pieces again to create a little cluster. And again, kind of like the butterfly wing, I'm trying to figure out how to make that flower overlap on the saying and have it look sort of normal and not cut off any of the words. But I don't know what I'm doing here. Struggling to get the heart to fit with the flower and look sort of normal. But so I just stapled on that what matters most just for a little different texture. And I end up using this piece. And I think I don't remember if I tuck it in, put it on top. Yeah. Okay. Maybe on top. Cut off the excess, and then I decide that I don't like it that way. That's what I did. And then popped it underneath. So it's cute. It kind of takes up a little bit of space up there, adds a little bit of something different. And again, reach for those tiny word stickers. Don't remember if I use one again. I think I have a lot of tiny word stickers. I reach for those. They stay on my desk all the time, and I reach for them probably 99% of the time. I love tiny word stickers. So I just ended up layering that one. I think it says I heart this up underneath the edge of my photo. And I'm going to ink up the edges because that pretty much is going to be the end of that card too. So I think that is the end of my layouts. So I'm going to lay them out and try and figure out which order I want to put them in. And then I will give you guys a close-up of each of the cards. I just wanted to thank you guys for joining me today. And I will see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.